Okay, we're receiving our Harvest Right freeze dryer. Here it comes. It's right down the street. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, puppy. Hi.
Hey, hold on a minute. I gotta go around the block. I'm early.
Okay. You can do that if you want. But I don't mind you being early. How are you today?
You know what? Finer than frog's hair.
Finer than a frog's hair. Well, how fine is a frog's hair? I'd like to know.
Pretty fine. No, I get, seems like one really strenuous stop a day.
Is this it?
Nope.
Oh, good.
My first one.
Oh, okay.
And it's done.
So the rest of the day is a breeze. You didn't throw that up on your shoulder, did you?
No.
Because you look like you could handle it.
No. I pulled it up from here to your garage.
Yeah.
And of course, the husband makes the appointments.
But the wife was there?
And he's never there.
Yep.
Ever. And my wife took everything down on Friday.
I'll take it if you got it handy. All right.
You have a great weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
You too.
I just wanted to take a look. The company has a very strict policy about if anything looks like it might be damaged, don't accept it. Send it back.
Well,
Because they won't warranty anything.
I warn you. You see this mat right here?
Yeah.
That's because this isn't a box. It's just a cover. There's no bottom on there.
Okay, yeah, got you.
I had a lot of people grab a hold of it. I doubt there's anything. It's pretty well surrounded.
Gotcha, okay. So have you delivered a lot of those? You can just stop right there. I'll take it from there. Have you delivered a lot of these?
Yeah, we delivered quite a few of them.
Yeah. They're popular, popular items.
Filming me.
Doing a little video. I'll blur you out so you don't have to worry about it. You're not going to be plastered everywhere.
I didn't sign no form.
That's right. And I don't want you coming back after me. All right, so this is just going to lift up.
It's talking about truck drivers.
There it goes. For whatever reason.
They were like, real truck drivers carry knives. Fake truck drivers carry knives.
Oh, no. Well, that's an interesting
I've always carried.
distinction there. Yeah, I do too. I mean, that's just, they're always needing it for something. All right.
I don't end my casual everyday life.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take it in just a little bit closer and then I'll just set it right on the floor. Then I'm going to get some help to bring it into the house later. Almost there. That's good enough. That's going to do the job.
If you'll take the garbage.
Well, absolutely.
Is that a deal?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take all of that and dispose of it. Because the trash man hasn't been here yet. But he's on his way.
Looks like you use wood.
I do. I do some woodworking on the side and have a YouTube channel just for woodworking and build a few projects around the house and that sort of thing.
Don't tell my wife. Thank you, sir.
Vance, thank you. Thanks for the conversation.
Have a great
Appreciate
weekend.
it. We're gonna enjoy that. We're gonna get that
Enjoy.
fired up here shortly.
You know, I delivered one of these one day to a guy, and I said something like, you know, kind of vegetables and meat, you gonna go make some jerky or something, I said to him. He said, no, sir. He said, what I do, he had 4 of them.
Wow.
He takes your pet.
I'm sorry, he what?
Yeah,
He freeze dries his pets
the pets, like your dog dies.
when they die? Wait a minute.
What he does then.
Vance, you're telling me that the guy you delivered a harvest right to,
Yes, sir. Exactly one of those.
exactly one of those, he's got 4 of them,
Yeah.
and he uses it to freeze dry pets,
Yes, sir.
to preserve them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now,
That's insane.
it wasn't
I
a
wonder if he does
normal-looking
vegetables
guy
in those
like
same
you
machines.
and I, okay?
Right.
That's just, that's what he does.
He's just a little exotic, maybe.
$3,000 for a small dog.
I'm going to go place an order for a couple more.
Yeah. That's what I told my
I'm going to have
wife.
one for vegetables and food, and I'm going to have one for dogs and one for cats. That is,
That's
I
what
want to Harvest Right. Hey, this video is going to go to Harvest Right because I want Harvest Right to know that people are using these things for their pets.
That's exactly what he does.
I'm guessing it works.
And he's busier than, he said, man, every day. Busy.
Well, people love their pets and they don't want to see them cremated. And
Right.
wow, that is just insane.
Freeze dry your pet so you can sit him on the couch and he never makes a noise. That's pretty gross. Ain't it?
That is gross. I appreciate you, Vance. You have a good day. Oh, Vance was a character. Yeah, let's address that issue for a moment about freeze drying your pets. It's just a little disturbing, don't you think? Maybe drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I'd like to know what Harvest Right thinks. So they're certainly not going to endorse it, I would think. Okay, put those thoughts out of our head. Let's jump into, take a closer look at our Harvest Right that just got delivered. And then we'll come back and do the unboxing of the other goodies and see where we're at. Okay, so we've got our box up on the table here. We're going to open it up and just see what's inside. Now, just for your knowledge, I'm looking at the shipping documents here from from FedEx, and they indicate that the 2 boxes, the Harvest Right machine as well as this accessory box, weighed 225 pounds. So this unit's not light, and you may need a little help to move your box in and out of your house. Okay, so I've already cut the tape open on this box, so I'm going to open it up, and we will see what's inside. Now, full disclosure, I have not dove into this box yet, so this is the first time to kind of get in here and dig around. So right off the bat, we have, it looks like, our drain hose and power cord for the pump, and we do have some documentation here. A guide to freeze drying, and the owner's manual, and an entire little booklet here for firmware and troubleshooting. Let's hope we don't have to use that too much. Okay, inside this box here we have an oxygen absorber kit. So it looks like they gave us 50 oxygen absorbers. And stop. Important, please contact Harvest Right with all inquiries, including questions about setup, warranty, and repair. Do not contact the retail location where you purchased your freeze dryer. And then they have their phone number. That's good to know. I did buy it directly from Harvest Right. I did not buy it from one of the retail stores. All right, we also have some Mylar bags. This is a 50 pack, 8x12. We have a bottle of pump oil, premium high vacuum pump oil. That's the Harvest Right brand. We do have our trays, and they're individually wrapped in paper to protect them. And this box over here, we have an oil filtration system. I did get the premium pump. So it's going to be less oil changes, and it's also a little bit quieter from what I understand. So I did opt to spend a little extra to get the premium pump over the standard pump. And we did get our impulse sealer. And lastly in this box is the heaviest item, which is the vacuum pump. That is what's included in your accessory box. So I'm going to take a little time, read the instructions, figure out how to set this up. Then we're going to go into the house, because we are in the garage studio right now. We're going to go into the house and finish setting up this Harvest Right, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I just spent about 20 minutes reading the owner's manual, and I just wanted to point a couple things out. First of all, it only takes about 20 minutes to read it front to back. And there's some interesting information in here that I hadn't heard before by watching some of the videos and things. And so it's important that you take, a few minutes to read this manual. It's easy reading. They've got it laid out very nice. It's really good information, full of pictures and things too. So don't miss this step, because there's a couple of things in here you might want to know to prevent some troubles later on. So be sure you do that. And also, I was taking a closer look at this firmware troubleshooting guide, and I kind of joked about, hopefully we didn't need it. But I got to tell you, this is probably the best troubleshooting guide I have seen of any appliance that I've ever owned. They take you through, and all the error messages that you may get while operating your machine, they have an example of what the error message looks like, and then they give you steps of what that means and some of the troubleshooting steps that you need to take in order to resolve it. I'm sure this really cuts down on telephone calls to the customer service desk, but it really is, it's very handy. It goes through pretty much every scenario that I can see here. All right, from here we're going to go ahead and take some of these items that we need into the drying room that we set up. I'm going to show you that, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing set up, so stick around. Okay, I mentioned that I'm taking this into the freeze drying room. The reality is we're kind of limited on where we're going to place this freeze dryer. Our options were leave it in the garage, but I'm a woodworker and the garage remains a pretty dusty place. Even though we have an air conditioner in there that keeps it cool, it gets really dusty, and that's not someplace I want to have a machine like this with our food. So that wasn't an option. Our kitchen is kind of small, so there really isn't room in the kitchen, and the kitchen is in a central location in our home, and I was a little concerned about noise going throughout the house. So luckily we had a spare bedroom that we no longer use, and it's in the front of the house, away from the main living space and away from the other bedrooms. So that's where we are. We've kind of converted this room into a storage room / now our freeze dry room. Now I want to share a couple things with you when we're considering placement of your freeze dryer within your room and what you have it sitting on. Currently I'm using an older sofa table that I built quite some time ago that we were no longer using, and I thought, okay, temporarily I'll use that. And so even though the freeze dryer hangs over a couple inches front to back, it's sturdy and it's stable and it would be fine there. But it's not the best solution, so this is something we're going to have to tackle here real soon and change it up. Another thing I want to point out is that they have these side vents for airflow for the machine to help keep it cool. So you've got them on both sides as well as the back. And the instruction says don't obstruct those to allow for proper airflow. So that's another consideration. Right now we have it pushed so it's almost up against the wall, and so I'm a little concerned about airflow on the back side. So that's something we're also going to tackle and maybe adjust. Now something else you should know about is particularly the drain hose that they provide you. This drain hose is probably 2 feet, 24 inches in length. And that's important because when you're thinking about placement of your freeze dryer, you have to think about placement of your drain hose where the water and moisture is going to drain into a bucket or a floor drain if you happen to have one. In my case, I plan to use this bucket I picked up from the bakery section of our local grocery store because I think it would serve the purpose well. However, this 24-inch hose just isn't long enough. You have to connect it to the back far corner of the machine, and once I do that, we've got about this much space and there just isn't enough for it to reach the bucket, and it's going to flop around. So I'm probably going to have to go to the hardware store and pick up an additional, a longer drain hose to use, or adjust the placement of my machine and this table so maybe this bucket sits on the side closer to the machine where maybe I can bring it over the side like that. But the way this hose likes to curl up, that's probably not going to work either, because it's not going to reach down to my bucket unless I put my bucket on a stand and bring my bucket up higher. So just something to think about. That's something we're going to have to tackle here pretty quick and figure it out. And something else you should know, if you order the Premier pump like I did, the pump comes packaged with a bottle of oil. And I was a little confused initially because in the accessory box there was also another bottle of oil packaged differently. And so, you know, I was looking at the two trying to figure out, are they the same oil or what's the difference? The reality is it's the same oil. It's just that some people purchase the vacuum pump separately, so they ship it with oil, and then when you buy it as a kit, they give you extra oil. So to fill the oil, we have to unscrew this big cap up here, and exposes the hole where we're going to put the oil in. While putting in the oil, make sure you keep an eye on this sight glass here, because you only want to fill your oil up to the halfway mark. According to the instructions, there is a minimum and a maximum level, but according to the instructions, you only fill it to the halfway mark. Okay, something else to know, I'm not sure if the video captured this or not, but when I was filling the oil in through the top here, I saw a little bit of oil at the bottom of the sight glass, and then there was nothing happening. And I just kept pouring oil in slowly, kept pouring it in, and then all of a sudden it flooded and started shooting up really fast. And so we're just a little above the halfway mark, which I'm sure we're fine because we're still far away from the maximum. But just be ready to watch for that, because as you're adding oil, you're not going to see anything. You know, there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden it comes shooting up really fast. And so we almost overfilled it. And there's still some oil in the bottom of this container. There's still oil in the bottom of this container here, so you don't want to put all of the oil in here, because then it's going to be maxed or maybe even a little overfilled. Okay, to get things connected here, we're just going to take our vacuum hose, and we're going to take this little plastic cap off the top of the pump. Both of the ends of the vacuum hose are the same, so you take one end and you're going to just hand tighten it, making sure it's threaded properly, and just screw it on here. The instructions do say that if you want to take pliers or something and just lightly tighten it up a little bit more, you can. We're just going to test it and make sure and see if there's any vacuum leaks or anything, but I think hand tightening will probably be good. And then on the side of your machine over here, mine has a little black plastic cover over it. You pop that off, and then you go ahead and attach the other end of your hose on this side. Next, you may notice that on the back of the machine there's two plugs here. There's two outlets. There's an outlet to take your vacuum pump, and you actually plug your pump into the machine like that. And now we take the other supplied power cord and we plug this end into the machine, and the other end will go down into our wall socket, to our wall outlet. You can flip the switch to the on position. If you notice, it's not going to start yet. Alright, so I made a temporary adjustment. I moved my table away from the wall just a little bit more so that I could turn the machine so it's fitting into the corner, because I want to make sure I have good airflow on both sides of the machine as well as the back. And I also needed to accommodate for the cords that are sticking out to the back so they wouldn't hit the wall. And so for temporarily, this is the best option to spin it and get it turned sideways. Clearly this table isn't going to be big enough, and I need a table that's going to be bigger, so we're going to go shopping and see if we can find one. So we're really excited to have this in our home, and looking forward to producing some meals here real soon. If you have any questions about the receiving process or setting this up, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to get back with you and try to answer those as quickly as I can. There'll also be a link in the description below, so you can go and check out the Harvest Right freeze dryer if you're interested. Hey, if you're new here, consider liking this video and subscribing, because this is the first video in a series of videos we're going to be producing regarding making freeze-dried food with the Harvest Right machine. My channel is dedicated to disaster preparedness, so there will be other videos on this channel that may interest you, such as solar energy and water storage and conservation, medical preparedness, bug-out bags, bug-in bags, how to prepare for natural and man-made disasters and civil unrest and other things that we face in the world today. So be sure to check out some of those other videos and subscribe and stick around. Hey, and I'm going to go ahead and pop up a couple other videos right here you may be interested in. And if you click on those, I'll see you over on the other side. Thanks for watching.